Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, ImperialDane. And today I have here 1 versus 1 on Langres. Yes, indeed, I know, exciting. Most exciting. It's going to be a bit quick match here. Well, no, not quick, but certainly not one of the longer ones, but certainly not one of the shorter ones either. It's sort of in between, it's sort of a good, nice length. We are going to be seeing Garm 63 fighting here in the south. He's a rank 13 American. Fighting for the 1st Infantry Division, going up against those dastardly Krauts. Opposing him shall be that fiend ImperialDane, fighting for the 352nd Infantry Division, or Grenadier Division, whatever you might decide to call it. And I'm going to be a bit more with a running start. I mean, usually nothing happens in those first minutes, you know, except pioneers and engineers running about. No actual fighting, so might as well. Caught sort of a few minutes there, and of course also allows for slightly longer games in that sense. But of course, this sort of usual thing, although it looks like Garm is rather quickly focusing at the west. He's got some ideas for that medium fuel point over there, and in the sense I do as well. Just, you know, more eastern bound. 1 point being secure there, and I proceed to sort of secure this area. Volkswagen is on the way. This sort of usual thing to see from me. Rather fancy some infantry out first, then I can get some MGs out to support and all that. But usually I always get 1 to 2 infantry units first. We are seeing some riflemen coming out here for Garm 63, and of course that's pretty much obvious with the bags, although he could have gone with a jeep and perhaps, you know, decide to harass my pioneers early on. That is something some players do, and they can do so quite successfully, so I wouldn't underestimate it. But of course, don't decide to fight false grenadiers head on. That jeep might then actually go kaboom. But a bit of barbed wire here, sort of provide a bit of protection. Of course, a night cover to the American foe. More false grenadiers on the way, hopefully. Pioneer securing the central area. So there we go. Swift fighting. Well, no real fighting actually going on as of now. The Americans sort of continue here in the west, securing the strategic point there to sort of deny to the Americans, certainly a bit before. More riflemen on the way, and it certainly could be he might decide to sort of, yes, he's hanging about with riflemen, wiring off this area, so at least initially my flank will be a bit more secure right here. Won't have to sort of worry about someone charging in through there. And a bit more barbed wire here to sort of make this position a bit more impregnable. Although looks, yes, we are in fact getting 2 rifleman teams charging in now against that 1 false grenadier team, which hasn't been able to fully get off the barbed wire, so it is going to get a bit outflanked quickly. But they are for now actually stopping out in the open. But no, again, perhaps I should have, you know, wired off this area a bit better first before going for that point. But there you go. Hindsight is always so fun, isn't it? Volkswagen is taking some minor losses. Further Volkswagen moving in, trying to pull back towards cover. I don't want to conduct a full retreat at the moment. I want to sort of keep them at bay, see if I can't cause some more kills. And there we go, Rifleman sort of limping about a bit out in the open, not entirely sure what to do. We are seeing some engineers coming in from the flank though, going to rush in, make things a bit more difficult. 1 more Rifleman goes down, another goes down. Volkswagen team gets the devil out of there. And the Volkswagen then conduct a full retreat. Pioneer engineers, in fact, going straight for the cutoff point. And note again, more barbed wire there to sort of protect any sort of immediate access to the strategic point there. Small little trick I have. Tends to be alright. Plus, at the same time, it doesn't fully block off this area, but at the same time, it sort of serves as a deterrent. Otherwise, they have to sort of move through here this path, which is a bit more negative cover. So that's a little detail there. Mines going up there in case he decides to cut the wire, of course, push on. Volkswagen is getting reinforced and ready to support the MG42. Swift counter-attack can't allow him sort of too much time, and immediately at the same time, he's clearing up the barbed wire so he can actually move through freely. And of course, also perhaps use that cover a bit. So that's interesting to see. That's actually nice to see. You know, of course, it's going to cause his engineers a little bit of time, but there we go. And now mining off this area. Good move. Good move. And riflemen are sort of breaking through in the west. Volkswagen is quickly moving in. MG42 covering the path. Volkswagen is taking up position in the building. Increases line of sight, of course. Also gives them a bit of protection. Riflemen caught up there, and they are in fact now in a full retreat. Bit of fighting going on here in the west. Engineers have snuck up here to the fuel point right next to my base. That's not entirely good. In my opinion, at least. It can also mean, of course, you could sneak into the base unseen, but for now I'll try to stop that. Volkswagen team number 3 ready. Americans are sneaking about. MG42 covering this area. of course they do need this strategic point if they want access to this fuel point. That's rather vital for them. For me, it actually doesn't matter as long as I have this point or this point. So that's a slight detail there. MG42 advancing slowly. Rifleman though dodging that. Barely though. We're quite close to gun a full volley. Still quite a bit of dodging about, weaving about so far. Garm has managed to secure most of the map. Again, that's rather what you can do with rifleman engineers, where the Wehrmacht is sort of more lagging behind in that. Of course, have to sort of concentrate the defense at the same time. It's not unusual for the Americans to have most of the map. But MG42 advancing up. Volkswagen's night cover might want to move in those. Then again, might want to keep those there to cover. And BAR's ready. He's getting ready for a major assault. Not even getting some flamethrowers for those engineers. And there we go. Volkswagen's taking heavy losses. MG42 is in a bit of trouble. Rifleman fighting here against some engineers trying to cut through the wire, giving them a bit of a Kar 98K surprise. Engineer MG42 pulling back in here. I make actually a slight mistake. I was trying to sort of rush it into the house, of course. But again, there's simply too many infantrymen. And of course, engineers moving in from the west. That could actually end up as a death trap. And note, down to half health. Pioneers rushing in to provide support, but not ending up well. MG42 making a run for it. Looks like they will actually make it out of there. The Pioneers, though, I fear will not. That's simply just horrific. A massacre, and there we go. Volkswagen sneaking in, and rather realizing they're, of course, also outgunned. The BAR upgrade is pretty powerful for the Americans. It really drastically increases the firepower of their troops. Assault going in there, and thankfully doesn't actually retreat, or at least run away, doing a bit of damage, but it's not really going to do much in the long run. Full retreat there. Sniper ready now to provide a bit of sniper fire. But again, BAR, quite powerful upgrade. It can fire on the move, unlike pretty much no other LMG, in fact, can't fire on the move. So, of course, that's a bit of an assault rifle at the same time. And, of course, it doesn't actually suffer a penalty against moving targets either. Again, not a lot of weapons. In fact, no other LMG, again, does that. The Bren, the LMG42, suffers that penalty. BAR, no. Plus, it's pretty accurate and all that. So, I mean, it's a pretty damn effective weapon. Plus, of course, counting American veterans. And, it's not a small thing. So this is, of course, something you have to be very careful about. And, of course, it allows them pretty much to spread out their infantry even further and adjust attack from even further angles. Because, again, one infantry team will be having a much larger amount of firepower in their hands. Sniper sneaking out there. Volkswagen's Pioneers heading into the center. And, of course, going to have to stop that bit of harassment right there. What little precious territory I have will have to be fought over most dearly. At the same time, I rather accidentally went for this. I'm not actually going for the Sturm Army. I do not like rushing for that. It's actually sort of an accident, and I rather thought I hadn't researched skirmish phase. Silly, I know. And mine hit. Mine's going up there. At the same time, sniper with 3 kills. Garm, though, has taken a bit of a beating after that bit, but he's getting ready again. And he has a triage center up as well. That is good, going to help his troops a bit in the longer run. Retaking as much as possible. Pioneers on the way to sort of replace the ones lost and get that Krieg barracks up. Volkswagen's a bit of trouble. Riflemen charging in. Others getting sniped. Volkswagen's moving in to cover that flank. Others might here want to pull in to cover this area. Engineers, riflemen rushing in. MG42 starting the frontal bit here. But the MG42 will be in a bit of trouble. We are seeing grenades as well. He's going pretty heavy for the infantry. And, oh dear, the MG42 did get lost. At the same time, trying to set up a bunker, but that's clearly not going to work now. Volkswagen is in the east, also taking a beating. Pioneers getting, oh dear, almost slaughtered. Bunker cancelled. Grenades getting locked, actually trying to assault these chaps, but my Volkswagen can't actually catch up, which is a bit of a problem. Rifleman does go down, but not really the best of situations. And landing quite a few there, doing a bit of damage, wounding, killing. The troops getting ready, Krieg barracks up, although that's going to take a bit of time. Until then, I am on my own, without some sort of heavier infantry to stop all of these riflemen engineers again. Pushing onwards, Garm does not stop, he just takes as much as he can. And that's certainly how you should do it. At least as the Americans. Engineers, though, getting sniped. Sniper does provide a bit of a slight benefit. But the Krieg barracks is finally up. Taking up position behind the well. Sniper running once more, covering fire. Overwatch. Rifleman pushed back again. He's rather scared of that sniper, actually. which is only to my advantage. Seeing some grenadiers driving here, getting hit from all sides. Grenadiers and snipers push on. Quite keen on retaking as much territory as possible before the next American assault moves in. Of course, I could also do a bit better, you know, for trying to lay down more barbed wire, and that's rather where I'm, you know, perhaps a bit, you know, too slow. I mean, wiring off this area again could actually be to my benefit much greatly, you know. Would again leave him without cover, and of course also less territory to move about in. That is sort of the thing you have to remember about barbed wire. It serves a lot of purposes. Besides the obvious, you know, blocking passages, it's just there to hinder movement, of course, deny cover. Of course, I could wire this area off again, but I seem to be a bit forgetful on that account. Pack 38 again, just in case. I mean, it's not unusual to see an American who has been, you know, holding that strong an advantage with the rifleman with BARs, and that's again what a lot of do, to go for some sort of armor. But he's in fact going for the motor pool. No doctrine as of yet, though. And he doesn't actually quite have enough fuel, but again, he's probably been spending a lot of resources on rifleman upgrades. Rifleman under fire, the sniper proceeds and continues to be an asset. Force slowly pushing onwards, although I have to be careful of some veterancy for my troops would have been a good move, but that seems to have sort of slipped my mind. Like other bits, like, you know, more wire and perhaps some sandbags. Again, I'm not really preparing enough defenses, and that's certainly a bit of a mistake on my behalf. I'm a bit too caught up in sort of trying to predict what might happen. There we go, another assault going in from the Grenadiers. Others moving in to support. No, that's Grenadiers. Engineers charging right into the sniper and some other Grenadiers. The sniper misses up close. That's less sterling. We are seeing some riflemen sneaking up there in the west. Grenadiers getting reinforced. There will be more Grenadiers on the way. Riflemen charging at the Grenadiers. And yes, we are going to some grenades. In fact, he has quite a bit of munitions. You'd think he's going for an observation post, but apparently not. He's just, you know, not having much great use for it. I can certainly only be happy he hasn't been spending a lot of munitions, but I guess that would mean a lot of mines or a lot of grenades. But he is having quite a bit of munitions. Of course, that's because he has that high munitions point, the only high munitions point on this map. I'm more concerned with sort of trying to hold the line and, of course, keep things a bit clear than trying to not take that out. So, of course, that is a strategic consideration. Of course, I might always want to consider taking back that munitions point. But with some armored cars now, of course, he's certainly going to have the advantage in terms of mobility even further. I do have a pack, but again, here's the clever thing. He does have a wide front. I mean, I have a wide front. We both have, and of course, he can decide where to strike. And of course, currently I only have one pack 38, but it can't be everywhere. I mean, I either have to keep it here at the front, of course, protect there, and of course, otherwise, he can rush up pretty much until the last moment and attack my base with the M8. And note again, I currently do not have a pack there. So, of course, that's a very important little detail. And again, he's certainly going for it, rushing in with the M8. Grenadiers are without any means to actually put a stop to that. Lots of tank traps going up here, though. And we're actually seeing some barbed wire now, actually. So that's not completely off. Now, of course, the Pack 30 is moving up here, and he's quickly moving away the M8 to attack somewhere else. Engineers running into a mine. The only mine I've laid down so far. And the M8 moving in. Will the tank trap finish? Yes, indeed. Just barely. Another American assault moving in from Garm 63. The 1st Infantry Division is certainly not giving up. More infantry rushing forwards to the front, taking up positions where they can. Still no doctrinal use. He certainly could benefit from either going airborne or infantry, and of course again he's gone for the he's got 4 command points floating. Again, after 3 points it actually gets slower at the rate of you getting command points, and now in fact seeing airborne. He's certainly going to put that to the great effect. And there we go, in fact, trying to get the sniper, but he only gets pinned. My troops are in fact nicely spread out. And the Grenadiers with the assault going on are in fact left pretty untouched. Grenade goes off on the Grenadiers though. More assault. Grenades just can't seem to hit the rifle and simply moving about too much. And that is certainly one of the many weaknesses of assault. I mean, if it can hit, yes, great. Trouble is getting it to hit. And I think it might occasionally be a bit too expensive for that actually. But the M8 once more proving to be a nuisance, doing a bit here, and of course moving in through here as well. 2 M8s. And a supplied upgrades, that's great to see. Now all he needs is really just a medic station to help him get sort of through the long run. Another Pack 38 though to cover the western flank, in case he decides to move up there. Grenadiers hiding in cover on a nice little line, and yeah, another strafing run it looks like. And again, that's sort of the problem with strafing run, doesn't really care too much about cover. Stormtroopers though are moving in. Panzer Grenadiers on the loan from the 2nd Panzer Division, rushing into support. And engineers coming out, a bit of fire. Pioneers moving in. Pack slowly advancing, full guys holding at this point. And once more mine is hit. So getting the most effect out of that. And now we are in fact seeing supplied upgrade number 1. He is bleeding a bit. Might even have lost 1 rifleman team. Though I'm certainly also bleeding a bit of manpower, constantly having to reinforce, in particular with all those strafing runs. And the pack is pointing in the wrong direction. Then again, there's also an M8 there, so it's actually a bit surrounded. He could actually move in and attack from here, but he's actually not doing it. Quite interestingly enough. He's not quite pushing in there. Rifleman taking further losses. The sniper so far with 17 kills. Sniper Koenig doing his best to rake up some Yankee kills. The clothesline still intact somehow, despite all the heavy fighting that's been going on here, with all those filthy riflemen running about.
Gassed up and good to go.
Once more rushing out. Looks like he's getting ready for something on the east as well. And the sniper just continues killing those riflemen, much to my enjoyment. Another bunker here might be an idea, you know. Could certainly help, in particular with all those strafing runs. And he is also getting ready. Again, a Panzerjet could also be useful for those. I do seem a bit reliant on my Pack 38s. I could also be lacking a bit of munitions. Not really that I have a lot, only 2 points. A bit of quiet there now. Of course, Garm 63 is getting a sniper of his own, having rather had enough troubles with mine. He's deciding he wants to get it the sniper way. Pack 38 gets off a good shot on the M8. Could we see a Panzerfaust? Oh dear. Second shot misses. Damaged engine. And looks like the M8 will be getting away.
We're losing a munitions point.
Simply because that damn pack crew couldn't hit. And another strafing run could be ready. Rifleman charging at the Fultz Grenadiers. Small fighting here. Fultz going to take up cover and then proceed to launch an assault. A counter assault, I suppose. Inspired assault going on there. Rod on the Rifleman in a heavy cover. Killing 1, doing quite a bit of damage. M8 rushes in. Pack 38 just can't accurately not just cover, just but barely able to cover whatever. And the Fultz guys end up getting forced away. Sturmhaubitze though on the land from the 2nd Panzer Division.
Let's put some fear into them.
Ready to provide some heavier fire support against all those riflemen.
Losing ground out there.
American sniper not close enough, but at least he's not giving away his position, thus alerting me of the presence of an enemy sniper. Then again, I am sort of slowly starting to imagine one might be coming. Stu-42 and sniper been working as a great pair. 22 kills for the sniper. Stormtroopers and Grenadiers getting ready on the eastern flank. And Grenadiers remembering they forgot something at home. Apparently. Quite a bit of reinforcing going on, and rushing in the Stu-42 to do a bit of damage, right as he's getting that anti-tank gun. Of course I don't know, but I figure I might as well try to do a bit until he gets something that can actually react to it. A bit of a case of, you know, seeing an opportunity and going for it. Will the Stu-42 be able to knock it out before it's too late? Then again, spotting rifleman on the western flank. And I don't quite feel confident against sticky bombs. Then again, he's actually pulling away. So who knows? dear, never mind. Anti-tank gun soon ready. And riflemen are advancing in greater numbers than before.
Losing ground out there. Composition B is in.
And now actually getting sticky bombs. Not the best hit from the Stu-42. Rifleman sneaking in from the flank. Sniper continues to rake up kills. 24 kills in active time. To have a look at the other side. And a mid-game analysis. What is the current situation? Well, finally getting a bunker there again. Looks like it might actually finish, but so far Garm is holding one half of the map, more or less. I'm holding the other half. And of course, who's actually doing better, that of course is the tricky bit. I certainly have more infantry, but I'm also certainly suffering a bit more. He certainly has the initiative. He can certainly sort of move about and do a lot of damage here and there, but I'm slowly able and finally able to sort of stabilize things for now. Of course, with the anti-tank gun, my Stu-42 will be running into a bit of problems. And of course, he still has those strafing runs, which can prove to be quite the threat. So of course, that's not to be forgotten. But I do hold the infantry advantage. In fact, I do have 3 teams of it, plus the sniper, although he of course has his own. Of course, what could Garm do? He might consider actually getting some armor. He might consider getting a medic station. That would really help him, of course, get him more infantry with BARs. I mean, again, you know, you have it, use it as much as possible to a certain extent. Of course, don't blow up and all that. Usual caveat there applies. And of course, I might consider getting a Sturm Armory now, perhaps getting a Nebelwerfer, perhaps getting a Sturmgeschütz. I do have the medic bunker on the way, so I don't need that. And of course, Kampfkraft Center, veterancy, would also be a really nice idea to see here. And looks like the Pak 38 on the western flank is finally getting some good shots off on that M8. Again, that's sort of the idea. And of course, he might want to sort of consider not attacking up through here, but sort of trying to shift through here, and thus of course forcing me away from this area and up to here. And then of course, he can move through here. That's sort of what at least a strategy from Garm's side could be looking like. And looks like this M8 might not actually make it. Looks like he's actually forgotten about it. And there we go. Kaput, kaboom. Rifleman charging at the Stu-42 stormtroopers nearby. Sniper moving up. Oh dear, this could actually end up grimly. No, the American sniper still not able to get him. But this, of course, could be any second, and he's been able to really keep him at bay, you know, not kill anything, and again, not give him away. Again, great counter-sniper maneuver right there. Me pulling away slightly, constantly having that paranoid feeling that he's gotten one, but of course you can't prove it until it's too late. So that, of course, is the tricky bit. Oh dear, my sniper's a bit too long out there. Has to move, has to reposition, of course. That is something about snipers. The longer they stay in the same position and fire, the longer it actually takes for them to cloak. I'm sort of not doing that. And I can notice it's really taking a long time now to cloak. And no, Garm is not actually reacting to that. But there we go. In fact, shooting a tree in half. My goodness, that must not be a Springfield. That must be an anti-tank rifle he's got. Well, there we go. Sniper Koenig dead by the tree, which this American sniper actually shot in half. Medics pulling in the wounded. Ford's going to take up position here to cover the Stu-42, actually doing quite a nice job of that. And Rifleman, in fact, taking some losses. The BR not quite as effective against units in buildings. Slowly more stable situation. BR's left behind. Now, of course, the American sniper can continue unhindered, or except of course, if I get a sniper of my own again, to sort of put a stop to that nonsense. But assault phase has been reached. Of course, that will mean a Sturm Armory. And moving in the Stu-42 to perhaps get off a shot, and there we go. Sniper rather realizing it's time to get the devil out of there. Pak 30 has actually been pulled away from the western flank, but of course he's not trying to use it as a tank. That's actually good. Again, he's sort of just being a nuisance in the west. That's what we like to see, although he should probably be committing at least some infantry units there. But then again, he's actually lacking them, which is a bit his larger issue. Anti-tank gun firing away at the Stu. 42. Pioneers running away. Oh dear. And the sniper running into some flamethrowers. Oh, bugger me. That was anything but good. Not entirely sure how that happened. I can't remember. Though I did swear a bit there. Usually something about how he actually decided to go there. Assaults being launched on several points. Might be an idea to not spend so much munitions on that. Might some infantry upgrades would be a better idea, but sometimes I do get a bit happy about that ability. A bit too happy, I won't deny it. Grenades getting locked at the false grenadiers. Oh dear, heavy losses. Grenadiers forced away. And a full gun team was in fact utterly cut down. Stormtroopers moving in. Riflemen a bit out in the open. Stormtroopers and grenadiers rushing in. Picking up a little BAR in the process. The Browning automatic rifle. Right at the anti-tank position as well. And a strafing run puts a stop to that attempt. Although it doesn't do much damage either, and medics might be able to recall one grenadier team soon. The wounded getting carried on. Storm Armory almost up. M8 rushing in towards the center. Oh my goodness, and the Pack Fighter is once more pointing in the bloody wrong direction. Oh no. Nice shot there from Stu-42. Again, no further infantry replacements. And the west seems to be mostly forgotten except by some engineers. Looks like this M8 might finally be going down. There we go. Boom. Grenadiers reformed as well. Absolutely amazing. Although the Stu-42 has to be careful. Anti-tank guns a bit dangerous. Of course, it is interesting to see he hasn't actually used any airborne infantry, hasn't been calling any. No troops with the cordless rifles, satchel charges, and of course fire up. Sort of rush through and make a mockery of my defenses. And a very, very long thrown assault grenade landing right there, stunning in fact the entire unit. That was quite fortunate. Grenadiers rushing in, hoping to catch the sniper, only gets an anti-tank gun member. And in that case, I actually didn't ask for that, or at least I hadn't thought I had. I actually wanted a naval weapon to sort of deal with these anti-tank guns. Sadly, I got a Sturmgeschütz instead. Not that it's all bad, but you know, not quite what I had been expecting or hoping for. So a bit of quiet as things are sort of once more changed around. Another sniper out for Garm 63, and what is this? Is he getting another? No, he's not actually getting a heavy machine gun. That's quite interesting. Had not, of course, been anticipating that. Stormtroopers and Grenadiers ready here. They could be moved in to stop those engineers. And that is in fact what's happening. Riflemen moving up as well. Riflemen and engineers under a bit of fire there. And a strafing run hits quite nicely, knocking out the most of this unit. At the same time advancing up through here, snipers, riflemen and a heavy machine gun to stop any counterattacks and of course protect his own sniper wraps. So not the worst idea. False guys getting sniped, need to get out of there. And they do manage. Looks like some of the wounded were saved by the medics once more.
Enemy is down to 100 points.
Now a naval effort's on the way, and a pioneer team looks like it almost went down. Stu taking fire from the anti-tank gun. That's not good. Nicht gut, Männer. And another grenadier team is in fact ready, and now getting a Goliath as well. Not entirely sure what I intend with it. Though I can tell you it doesn't actually end very well. There we go, Goliath rushing forwards. Right in front of an anti-tank gun, and kaboom. So that was a bit of a waste. Those are not really a good usage of the Goliath at all. That's certainly my mistake. But at least I have a Nebelwerfer ready. A Nebelwerfer battery was actually attached to the 352nd Infantry Division. And that was even before the whole thing went off. Nebelwerfers were actually sort of more an independent artillery unit, sort of attached to wherever they were needed. So fun little fact there. Rather on the western flank, again outnumbered. Interesting to see again, he hasn't really been bothering but any infantry replacements, or again a medic station that really could have helped him, I think. Tank depot though up for Garm, he might be hoping for some Shermans. And of course I could definitely also use with a Kampfkraft center. So I'm not exactly without any faults myself. But he's continuing on the eastern flank, using the building here for perhaps sort of a bit of cover himself, so he can't really get hit from this side as easily. Counter-attack advancing, could be calling in a Tiger soon. And there we go, heavy machine gun carrying his advance, that's quite nicely in fact. Suppresses the grenadiers and the stormtroopers quite nicely, even the false grenadiers. And a strafing run sort of finishing, but that wasn't actually quite as effective. Though that's actually fun to note. Units that are suppressed actually take less damage. Stu-42 manages to knock out the crew on the anti-tank gun, allowing itself to in fact clear out the rest, in particular that nasty heavy machine gun. And in fact all this fighting right next to the medic bunker is of course only going to help with getting in the wounded. And we hear the howling of the Nebelwerfer as it sings a dirge to the American forces. And another grenadier team immediately gets put back on its feet, composed of former stormtroopers and other grenadiers. It's ready to fight once more. And there we go, the Sherman is advancing. The Stu-42 is going to have a bit of a problem with that. Plus, of course, that anti-tank, and we still have one sniper. Did you lose the other one? Oh, so much happening all of a sudden. And the entire west is completely open. I mean, I could sneak in some grenadiers and just take that entire area, or even get an officer to do that. At the same time, though, I am lacking in population cap. Again, penned in. And the StuG is in dire need of repairs. Grenadiers charging in, hoping to clear out that anti-tank gun before anything else happens. And they don't manage that. Anti-tank gun being snuck in. Grenadiers could be doing else than standing there, and we're in fact seeing someone moving in through there. This could in fact look like to be Garm's sort of last attempt. And the Sherman takes a few rear hits from the Pack 38. If it can hit, that is. And we can see in the background the Nebelwerfer fires. Stu-42 being threatened by anti-tank guns. Sherman pulls back, hoping for someone to repair it. And again, lots of munitions for Mr. Garm. He's not really using it on grenades or anything else. Not even armor-piercing rounds, which I might think is actually not a good idea. That, of course, does mean more strafing runs for him. And he's, oh my goodness, he's floating 8 command points. You've got to be calling in airborne again. Infantry, equip them, recall his rifles. He could be doing a lot of things. He's just not doing it, and that's quite a shame. And the Stu-42 goes down, false guns and grenadiers charging. Of course, Cook gets strafed. And there you go, strafing run moving in. But only getting a false grenadier team this time. Anti-tank gun on these getting cleared out. Second one also knocked out beyond salvation. StuGs still not getting repaired though. Silly Dane. Lots of grenadiers back at base. Once more medics moving in to pick up the remainders. And the anti-tank gun coming under fire from its own anti-tank gun. second one has actually arrived. Interestingly enough.
Germans are seizing territory from us.
And the anti-tank crew is now actually getting sniped as well. Heavy damage to these Germans, but there's only one engineer to actually repair them. That's not good.
Enemy unit down.
Stormtroopers and sniper. Catch the snipe. Other
One
sniper.
of our snipers is KIA.
Through the head. And further fighting here as Riflemen are getting caught on all sides by lots of grenadiers. Strafing round moves in, only doing light damage, in fact, only suppressing one team. And lots of assaults moving in. Nivelhofer's on the eastern flank. Only catching him is... You see 5 command victory points left. Even some harassment right here. Did a bit of a trick.
Enemies after our victory point.
Riflemen getting absolutely gunned down without mercy by the grenadiers. And those medics just keep pulling in the wounded. Quite a few of those.
Observation posts report we are losing a sector.
And the heavily damaged German still not repaired, and still no command points used here. That's again a bit of a shame. And GG mate from him, and a GG from me, and I mean that's where we go.
Forces are taking casualties.
Sherman down. And of course, what can we learn from this? I mean, he had some good start, but of course, as soon as that sort of faltered, he sort of began floundering a bit himself. And that, of course, is rather the problem. I mean, he had the supply out, that's great. He had the triage center, he had everything, basically, except the medic station. He also was a bit lacking in infantry, and thus wasn't really able to really pull the advantage of all those upgrades on the infantry, which is a bit of a shame. And he had gone airborne, but he never called in any airborne infantry, which I also think was a bit of a miss. Could have helped him, you know, really pull off some good assaults, but sadly not. He didn't even bother getting the bombing runs either, so some really misses there with not really getting the full effect of the doctrine. On my part, you know, I was a bit too happy about the assaults in spite of the assault grenades. That definitely should have been worked with a bit more. That StuG certainly shouldn't have been left unrepaired for so long either. Medic bunker definitely did its part though. I think if I was able to pull together, what, 3 to 4 grenadier teams, that's certainly quite a nice bit. Sniper was actually a great investment right here, certainly did a lot to the American, really kept him on his toes and a bit back and not quite keen on committing to a full attack. And again, you know, I should have spent more munitions, perhaps, you know, upgrading on the infantry rather than, say, that Goliath and those assault grenades. That's definitely not good. And definitely I should also have gone for a Kampfkraft sensor, but there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own. This is ImperialDane saying cheers.